Hi guys! So for today's video is going to be a foundation review of the BareMinerals barePRO Performance Wear Foundation. And this video will be in kind of two parts. The first one is the application of this product, and the second part will be a wear test. So I'm going to wear this for a full day and then come back to you guys about how I feel about it. So if you're only interested in that part of that video, I'm going to link in the description box the timestamp for where that starts. So let's get going. I'm going to briefly go over what BareMinerals claims this foundation does. I'm just going to go over a few points. This is easily accessible on their website. So first, it's a 12-hour wear foundation, which is pretty impressive, and a customizable full coverage. And it's shown to improve skin clarity, reduce pore size, and control shine. And it's formulated with 90% vitamins and minerals and has a matte finish. And this comes in 30 different shades, and this is 0.34 ounces and it's $30. And they recommend purchasing this core coverage brush. It's really kind of like an angled, pretty thick brush. They kind of recommend this to really help with the performance of the foundation. And this is also $30. So if you want to invest in it, you're gonna pay $60 for it. So the first part of this video will be the application. So it's pretty much my best tips and tricks for the optimal wear of this foundation. And then I'm going to go on to do the wear test. And I always wear my glasses for my wear test. So I don't wear it now because of the glare. And at the end of the video, I'm going to go over how I really feel about this foundation and whether or not it's worth $30 and whether or not this brush is worth $30 as well. So if you're interested in how I feel about this foundation and how to apply it, please keep watching. Okay, now I have my bare face on, no makeup whatsoever. So I find that the best way to wear this foundation is to start with a primer. I usually like using something silicone based, so I'm going to be using my NYX Studio Perfect Photo Loving Primer. And I'm just going to apply it all over my face. With this primer, you only have to use a little, and it goes a long way. Next step is to use a concealer to conceal any problems that you have. I'm going to be using the NARS Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. I'm going to brighten my under eye just a little bit too. Now after all that is blended out, I usually like to let the concealer sit for a bit to kind of, so that it won't really smear once I apply the powder foundation. So while that is going on, I'll do my eyebrows. And as always, I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, and I'm in the shade Dark Brown. Now that I'm all done with my brows, I'm going to go into this BareMinerals barePRO foundation. And I have this core coverage brush that is recommended to purchase with it. By all means, you don't need to have this for a perfect application. I just like it because it's pretty lightweight and it doesn't apply too, how would you call it, too cakey, or like it doesn't feel like it doesn't. With this one, you diminish the look of patchiness and dry or cakiness, in my opinion. But you don't really need it. Just use a light hand with the sponge that does come in with this compact. So I'm just gonna take my brush and just kind of tap it in there, and then just kind of lightly downward strokes, apply it all over my face. I don't know if you can tell, but the more you pack on the foundation, the less you kind of see my acne scars. I find that you can build this up to a medium coverage. So you can kind of still see the acne scars on my face. But with the concealer and with the foundation, you could kind of like fade it. Another trick, if you don't want to use a brush, I find that the sponge is equally fine. It's actually better to like kind of spot correct any blemishes that you have. So I'm going to take the sponge that comes with it and kind of pat on top of my acne scars. And it actually does a better job at covering that than just the core coverage brush. So I'm going to do that to really help out with the coverage here. Only problem is that you kind of start to look like you're wearing foundation. If you're kind of going for that natural look, then I'm probably advising against this, but it doesn't get too bad in my opinion. I'm just going to drag it kind of down to my bottom of my jawline. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the foundation part. I'm going to do a close-up in a second. So as you can see, it doesn't completely cover my acne scars, but I mean when you look far away it's not that obvious, but if you look up close you can kind of still see it. My problem is that with my dry parts of my skin, it kind of does emphasize that. I mean, it is a powder foundation, so it is going to do that. So I find that if you want to use this foundation and have dry spots on your face, just don't use the sponge part. Just use a brush. Use any brush to kind of go over that. So the nose looks pretty fine, and the overall finish is fine. So just you have to be careful with it looking too powdery on your face. I'll be back with the rest of my makeup and do one more close-up to see how it sits with the rest of my makeup. Okay, I'm back with the rest of my makeup on. So I like the finish overall with the makeup on top of this foundation. The comments I made about the foundation remain the same with the makeup applied on it. But it's an overall nice finish. It doesn't look too heavy. It's it feels pretty lightweight still. So, you know, that's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good. We'll see how it is at the end of the day though. And let's do a little close-up of my face with my makeup on. So, I mean, a little better coverage since I have more stuff on. So, yeah. So it's a really nice finish, I think. With all my foundation tests, I'm going to be wearing glasses to kind of see how this area, my nose area does. That's kind of distracting, so I'll take that off for now. But I'll wear this for the rest of the day to see how that goes. And I'll check back with you guys at the end of the day. And another note is that it is winter here, so my foundation probably will last a lot better than if I did this over the summer, so please take that with a grain of salt. And my day is pretty normal. I'm just going to do some errands and run around, hopefully keep active for the rest of the day to see how this foundation really holds. So I'll see you later. Alright, I'm back. I had this foundation on for about 10 hours now. I can't do 12 because it'll be too late by then. and you know she needs to go to bed and she's here for the last part. So here's a close-up of my face after 10-ish hours. So overall, the rest, my face holds up pretty well, as you can see. However, the nose part did not do so well, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's some foundation gathering around the corner or like the bottom of my nose, and then pretty much it's all like, my foundation is all gone on my nose. And there is some shine to my face despite saying that it controls shine. And I am pretty oily, so, but I feel like this shine is looks kind of like a nice glow. So I'm not complaining too much. Anyway, the pros of this foundation is that it looks really nice on the skin. You just, like I said before, you just need to really be careful about using the sponge, because otherwise it'll be looking too cakey and it'll really emphasize your dry spots of your face. So I think this foundation is geared more towards people with natural or oily skin. Second, this foundation is, I think, a great powder setter. And I feel like it's a better setting powder than the Laura Mercier translucent powder, because this one really makes your skin look dry and really emphasizes any fine lines that you have. I don't really have that with this one, and like I said, just be careful with packing too much, otherwise you might get that. So a couple of cons for this item. Like I showed you, it did not hold my nose very well, and that tends to be the area where I get the most oily. So I'm a bit disappointed in that. So with anyone with glasses, like if you have glasses that you constantly have like take on and off, you know, it's definitely not gonna hold. I mean, it's been 10 hours, so I'm not gonna have like a super high expectation, but pretty much like this whole, there's just no foundation there whatsoever. And I believe if you watch my first foundation review, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation did hold for that 10-ish hours. So for a powder, it was just not strong enough to carry on throughout the day. Another con is that it claims to be a full coverage foundation, but as you can see, even when I freshly applied it, it did not cover my blemishes. And so I feel like this foundation would be great for people with really like pretty nice skin. I feel like with this one, you have to like conceal, then you have to like color correct, and then you have to pack on foundation. So it gets to the point where you're just using so much product. And I feel like with a foundation like this, like for something so easy to put on, you just want something that is quick and easy to go. So, you know, for people with, you know, blemishes on or like acne, I probably would not recommend this product. And I think that's all the cons I have. I have one product here, probably the best alternative, drugstore alternative I can find, is the Maybelline Dream Wonder Powder Foundation. Right here, it's too bright, there we go. And this one retails $10 for 0.19 ounces, or if you do the math, it's about $17 for the same weight as the barePRO one. So it's a little cheaper, and I feel like it has the same effect. It's a great setting powder, and you know, it comes with a sponge too, and it does a pretty great job of setting everything in after you put on your cream or liquid foundation. So that's it for my review of this BareMinerals foundation. I hope you enjoyed and found it pretty insightful, as I did wear this for a while instead of like a first impressions, or you know, I just feel like I really was able to get to know this foundation a lot better than the first review that I did. Please leave a comment below if you did try this foundation, if you had a different experience than me or we had similar ones. I like to know. And don't forget to subscribe. I upload videos every Wednesday. And I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!